What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Eric. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Brickhead. Brickhead is really taking it to heart. He did not want to play this tournament by the tournament rules. He is self-imposing rules thus far, it seems, of playing a different god every single game. And now he's bringing out his Oranos on the map, Blue Lagoon. I'm surprised to see this. I think Blue Lagoon is a perfectly fine and reasonable Norse map. The only problem with it, I guess, is that the herdable numbers are relatively low. So defending it can be a little bit tough, and you have to make sure that you're on the hunt. Otherwise, life can be very, very tough. But we do see Brickhead now deciding to pick Oranos here. Picking Oranos against Eric. Eric here, if you follow any of the kind of behind the scenes, or you want to come and check out some of the community games, Eric plays a lot of Zeus on his own stream. He's got his own stream, so you can go and check that out. And he is always playing at around about the same time as players like Ulysses play. And Ulysses and Eric play a lot of Zeus versus Oranos games. Zeus versus Oranos, I'd have to say, is one of the matchups that Eric has got the most experience in out of all of the matchups. One thing to kind of think about a little bit, to keep in the back of your mind, is that all the Norse players tend to play in a certain time zone. All the Brazilian players and everyone else play in a different time zone. So in terms of the god pool that everyone has got the best knowledge in, it kind of varies based on your region to some degree. And we do see that making it, if you were to kind of see players' performance by region in which matchup, you'd really understand, like, okay, it's just that those players play each other's gods that much a lot of the time. But basically what I'm trying to say here is that Eric's got a lot more knowledge in this matchup than he does in the Norse wars, is my guess. From what I've seen, at least on the old Twitch, from when I've been loitering around, not doing work. So we'll see how things are going to go. But Brickhead here, he has shown that he does have a fairly strong Oranos. And for any top-level player, Oranos is a god that you can basically pull out and play at a fairly high clip, a fairly decent level. But there are a lot of things you have to kind of play around against Zeus. The question is, will Eric stay with the Athena here, or will he go in with the Hermes? Athena against a top-level Oranos player might be a little bit harder to execute with than against the sort of lower level, or not like a non-Oranos main, if that makes any sense. Whereas Hermes, it's a bit of you're never really sure whether to go Hermes here. Is my experience in the matchup, and that just goes to show that I'm not very good with Hermes. But we'll see how it's going to go here for Eric. He gets his Jason out. He's going to be advancing a little bit later than he would like, and he is going through Hermes after all is said and done. The villager's on this position, eating the gazelle. He's going to have to throw himself up a mana at some point here, but that Jason is going to get a lot of value as the oracles, they're starting to wander back ever so slightly. Now, Brickhead can simply just heroize the oracle. One hero oracle can be enough to hold on these positions. Technically speaking, you can heroize all three oracles and get your military barracks down and get your counter barracks down and start production straight away, but you can't afford to get yourself economic upgrades if you do that. As we do see the oracles here getting killed as Brickhead retreats away. He's put his mana up somewhere else, it seems, in his main base, as there's the Valor. A bolt going to be coming down straight away. As the oracles, you have to still micro this here. As we do see the military academy counter barracks coming up. Eric, at this point, is going to start the Centaur, start the Odysseus. Not getting himself Sylvan Law straight away is a little bit of an adaptation here from Eric, realizing that there's not going to be a Valor coming, so he's got a little bit longer He's got a little bit longer here before he needs to have Sylvan Law, because there's not going to be any speedy Terma heroes running around. As the Citizen going to be shanking ever so slightly. These Citizen will have to retreat away as the Centaur are coming through. As Jason going to be getting pushed back. And Brickhead with the Hero Citizen here. He's not going to be too worried about the Centaur in this position. There's a couple of units going to be getting slowly starting to get taken out. Takes around about, 3 minutes or something? Or 2 minutes? 2 minutes for the Valor to recharge to get a couple more heroes. So we are seeing Brickhead now spending some resources to get himself the hero Terma out. But Odysseus immediately coming through, starting to throw those arrows in. And the big advantage of Odysseus against, as opposed to a normal archer, is that he can hit the speedy units very, very easily as Brickhead has to pull back into his main base. It's the Hero Citizen coming back over onto the Giraffe there to continue. 30 seconds until that next Valor will be coming in. And Sylvan Law is just about to be finished up as well, as Brickhead is just having to take the losses at this point. As another hero Terma gets trained there as the Terma trying to chase the Centaur. Nice micro yet again here from Eric, but Brickhead, he needs to start. The way to pick off a Terma, it's not a Terma, a Centaur, is you take a melee unit and you utilize the melee unit to snare the Centaur, and that allows your Terma to actually hit them here. As now Eric retreating back. He hasn't actually, while he's done a lot of good damage here, he hasn't actually built anything. He's lost his Odysseus. He's getting that back out. He's housed at this point because he's been focused so hard on the micro of the Centaurs. And that tends to be the case here for a lot of the Zeus players. As now Eric, he's going to be under attack on this position. Those villagers will have to start pulling back home. And Brickhead is going to start moving across the map nicely with his units, pumping them all out. This Giraffe here about to be finished up. Still got a little bit left on this position. The villager over here sneaking the Giraffe there as well is very, very nice. One villager going down. Nice raid here for Brickhead, as the villagers here going to fall as well. As effectively, Brickhead needs to decide whether or not he wants to use his shockwave there or not. He decides against it, as he's going to be pulling back. This Citizen over here, very far away from a manor, as he takes a little bit of damage there, retreating back. Centaur searching around. A couple more Terma coming out here for Brickhead to try and to defend. There's the villagers nicely just garrisoning. Hero Terma coming in, and the Centaur have to retreat back. Eric, he's gotten a lot of what he needs done in this early game done. He's starting the production here. Still building villages, 25 villages versus 12 Citizen. Relatively close in that mark, as one Citizen does end up getting sniped there. I'm not sure how that happened right next to the manor. Must have been a bit of a misclick there from Brickhead. Nice find by Eric after all is said and done. There's another Citizen coming in as the villager retreating back into the town center. The Centaur here will be retreating away, as the third Valor will be able to get utilized very, very shortly here. Eric retreating his Citizen back yet again, as the Centaur coming very, very close in. One going down. As he picks off one Centaur there nicely, as Brickhead's still trying to figure out how he can get these raids in, but just a slight amount of defense for these two villagers is going a long way. Brickhead can sneak around here and try and pick off a villager if he wants. And where to next? There are Rhinoceros and Giraffe up on this position. Eric finishing up with the berry bushes here as well. The army can't really push in onto this position here at all. And Brickhead's used his the last of his Valors here. He is housed at the moment, but he is getting himself a second town center. A mana coming up there as well. Try and hold on. There is shockwaves remaining. Not a single one is being utilized. I wouldn't mind seeing them being used. A nice way to do it is you send your Terma forward, run them in, shockwave the units, and then attack, and you can easily pick off one Centaur very, very easily there, as just one arrow coming in has to retreat away. In fact, loses that hero Terma. Unfortunately for Brickhead, is Eric Ready to start moving across the map. He's got himself 87 population with the Centaur lead. In a very, very good spot here. More units pumping out. We are seeing some catapulties coming through here for Brickhead and a Kyra Ballista to try and deal with those hoplites and Hippocon. He doesn't need Terma anymore, and this is smart. I love the play. It's like, nice snipe yet again onto those Citizen underneath this wood line. As Brickhead here, he's not paying attention to his Murmillo either. As the Centaur getting some good value there. He can literally just sit here and take those out. As Brickhead, he's got to be kicking himself there. Losing Citizen is not something you really want to have happen as Oranos in this matchup. It's not something that should happen because you've got manners to play around this. But obviously Eric continuing to put the pressure on. We do see the villagers retreating into the manor nicely there. And Brickhead going to be coming back. Looking for some villager kills after all is said and done. The Murmillo coming over here. We get a couple of snares and we'll take a little bit of damage there, but then the Centaur gets a full HP. Oh, not full HP, full speed. Very, very fast. It's now Brickhead moves. Oh, not Brickhead, but Eric moving into the base here. The hero, Terma, snipe one Centaur there. As the Kyra Ballista are trying to defend here. Is this over pushing it here by Eric? He's going to be trying to get as much damage as he can, catching the Jason out. All the hero Terma have been sniped down for the time being, and now Brickhead will be in dire need of favor here. He's got lots of favor, but dire need of resources to make heroes to deal with those Centaur. He's in a very, very difficult position where that's concerned. Retreating back underneath the town center here. No watchtowers coming through here either. This low HP Citizen is going to be a liability for Brickhead later in this game, I'm sure. Nice snipe there from Eric. A little known fact. I'm sure Eric knows about it, but he's just like too much APM kind of in that moment to deal with it. But if you've got 3 Centaur, they basically one hit an unupgraded infantry unit. So 5 Centaur, you can special attack 1 Murmillo, and the other 2 can special attack a different, like Catapulti or Murmillo there, and you can get a lot of good damage done. But Eric here is just opting for the 1 kill and run option instead, which I don't mind. As we see now the hoplites moving over here. They see the town center in. This is always an option here for Zeus in this matchup, is the town center kill. Not only is the hoplites here getting double damage versus the town center, but the town center also only has 2100 HP as the Atlanteans get that slight nerf in them as the villagers are retreating away from this rhinoceros with the Murmillo pushing through there as well. There's one villager retreating into the manor there. Another citizen going to be getting taken out as the Brickhead unit's going to be retreating back home here. Brickhead here in a very, very difficult position after all is said and done. The Murmillo trying to find villager kills all across the map. Eric still has his ceasefire as well if he needs to utilize it, but I don't think that Brickhead can even defend if Eric just right-clicks onto this town center as well here, especially with all of those Centaur doing some good damage from afar. The Jason and Odysseus can also take out those Prometheans, which Brickhead is making. They aren't going to be that useful here in these fights. Those watchtowers is now up for Brickhead, and Eric going to be retreating back home. Plow coming through for Eric so he can start those farms coming in. The farm transition is always a difficult one. Basically, when you farm transition here with Zeus, you have to make the decision. Do you get yourself the second town center, or you just try and get as much hunt as you can and get yourself to the heroic age? And I think if you go for the farms, you're basically saying you need to get the town center up. So I imagine we're going to see Eric going for that as well fairly soon. But the army is still not able to win a fight against these hoplites that are out. They're just too strong. As Eric comes through, going to be taking out those Murmillo really, really easily here. As the Centaur retreating away, Odysseus manages to kill off another one. Both the heroes falling. Brickhead with very, very little remaining in this base. He's got his Prometheans coming in. The Kyra Ballista, they're not in a safe position there at all, gets immediately sniped. And Eric is swarming the base of Brickhead here. And Brickhead here trying to make it work with the Mermillo in the middle of the map, sniping straggler units, or reinforcements, but just not working out for him. As the hoplites pulling back with the farm transition coming through, Eric's food-based army does suffer significantly here. And Eric deciding, well, not really deciding, he's still staying in the base, but slightly retreating here, waiting for the food income to start picking up. One thing to kind of remember when you're playing as Greek, not Norse, but Greek and Egyptian is when you've got the granary set up from your starting hunt, your chicken, your berries, you can put farms around them. And you can get efficient farms there rather than a farm placed here, or even this farm is slightly off the granary. Like building them around your town center is great and all, but getting them right next to your granary can be a nice way to play it. As we see, Brickhead's gold mine has been spotted. 1 citizen going down. 2 citizen going down. And Brickhead is hurting significantly here. He realizes that he's not going to be retreating. Instead, tries to get a little bit of damage done on that position as the Caraballs are able to push the Eric hoplites back. And the citizen have moved on to this gold mine for the time being here as well. We'll see if Eric's going to be able to figure that one out, get over there and put a stop to the gold income of Brickhead here. Looks like he hasn't quite worked it out. Villages on this gold mine over here as well for Eric. Full population now. 14 farms. Economy very, very strong. Centaur have found some citizen over here trying to snipe those as well. But a hero Mermillo with 8 HP is more than enough to push the Centaur away. Centaur do kill off heroes. Not fast, but they do kill them off. They deal half damage, so they're dealing 6 damage a second against those high HP heroes. So you can easily just turn around and take that out. But now we do see the hoplite army sneaking through to take out the hometown center as Brickhead's slow Kyra ballast are out of position here. Going to start getting taken down. Even with 50% HP, 12 damage per second is more than enough to take out those Kyra ballaster. As the hometown center going down, this town center is coming up here for Brickhead as well. A handful of units are in here. No attempt to repair this. No attempt at getting masons either for Brickhead. Now he's finally pulled off here to try and hold this one. Will the hoplites pick this one off or not is the big question. The town center is still going down, and it does look like it falls. As the Centaur are pulling away, but was that too much of a commitment there? Was that too much of a commitment there by Eric, as he lost a lot of hoplites for that, and the town center is already going up over here as well. But Eric now getting himself his own second town center. He's motoring ahead in this game from an economic standpoint. And if the Zeus player can get themselves fully set up, they're going to be in a completely fine position. There's the town center up over here. 10 villagers get a town center up pretty fast in the main base, but that does mean those villagers weren't gathering resources. It is an expensive town center to buy, technically speaking, from the farming. The reason the villagers aren't gathering resources is reasons, all that good stuff. Town center up fast, more resources to build it fast are the questions you've got to answer. Is that now 100 population? Brickhead also 100 population. Harrow's economic upgrades. He's got all the good upgrades and armory coming down as well for Brickhead here. He needs to get the raids on. He needs to be hitting villages here. As the Centaur searching around. Again, those villages, nice and close to the tower though. He can keep that one alive. The Centaur check out this gold mine. There's nothing going on over there. Mermillo with the medium Mermillo does pop there, but they run straight into this army as they spot the villagers on this position. In terms of gold, the gold has all been scouted for Eric. He knows where he can go. And the citizen are getting spotted nicely. Good find there by Eric. Will he see this low HP citizen as well? The villagers do get garrisoned nicely. It's the hero Mermillo going to be chasing those Centaur away for the time being. And Brickhead just about to be able to advance to the heroic age here as the army has spotted the gold mine, but the Caraballs are in a very defensive position here. It's going to be tough to push in there. But Eric is going to regroup and try and push in there nonetheless. They are on the way. Brickhead has cut population here to try and get to that heroic age. We'll see if it's going to work out for him or not, because this gold mine here is going to get immediately pushed into. The hero Mamilo need to get onto those centaur. There's so many centaur here. 8 centaur for Eric, as Eric pushes in. The Cairo Baluster now getting taken out as a tower attempting to come up for Brickhead. He could retreat away, push back over onto this gold mine and try and restart the game from that position, but he decides in this position that he is too far behind, loses all of his army. Going to Thea is not going to save him in this game, as Eric claims a very, very decisive game 4 to level the series, to take us to a game number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, it can be tough to be an Oranos player against Zeus. There are certain things you just have to do in order to find an advantage. Thing number 1, build buildings around your town center. That's thing number 1. You don't need farms around your town center as Oranos. The mana here that you build can be on the town center as well. You can put one farm, or you can put a farm around it. You could put a farm, or you could put it off the town center. You don't need it on the town center. Put it on the gold mine, fine. You can put the farms around that. That's 4 farms, 6. You can put 5 farms around one manor. The other manor that he built over here, you put 5 farms around that. And now your town center is completely invulnerable. Not invulnerable, but significantly more fortified against a hoplite raid. When you get the second town center, the same thing occurs. That mana that you put down should be on it. You should put armory. You should put more military buildings here as well, just to defend it. And then when you get masons as well, the hoplite raids stop being so good. Instead of putting your buildings in a position that you might think would be good for Greek, Egyptian, and Norse, in like a position to stop your opponent from moving around your base so easily, you don't need that as Oranos, because you've got the manas to dive into with your citizen. Doesn't matter if your opponent's army's got free reign of your base, because they can't do anything. So that's the big difference that is going to separate the Oranos players in this matchup in the future, when they start working out the building placement needs to be much more specific. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.